Programming is a creative process carried out by programmers to instruct a computer on how to do a task. A program is a set of instructions that tells a computer what to do in order to come up with a solution to a particular problem. The actual content of the program is called code. That is why programming is often referred to as coding or writing code. Code is written in a language that a computer can understand. There are hundreds of different programming languages, each with their own logic and syntax. A programming language has its own syntax, which consists of a set of rules that dictate how words and symbols can be put together to form a program. The concept of syntax in programming language is similar to the concepts of grammar and spelling in spoken language. When a sentence in English has very poor grammar and spelling, it becomes difficult or even impossible to understand. Similarly, when code has syntax errors, the program will not execute. The difference is that when you read a sentence in English with a minor error, you can typically still understand its meaning. Very small syntax errors in code, however, make the program unusable. Coders therefore have to pay great attention to detail to make sure their code is not only logical, but also free of syntax errors. There are a number of aspects to syntax, including statements, variables, and keywords. Statements are the basic unit of code. A statement can assign a value to a variable, perform a single action, control the execution of other statements, and do any number of other things. A statement consists of a single line of code that does something. A very simple example of a statement is the following. Print, "Hello world." When executed, this print statement prints the text, "Hello world," to the screen, just as you might have expected. Programming languages use variables. You can think of a variable as a container in which you can store a value that can be retrieved at any time. In other words, variables store information. Let's consider a very simple example. X equals 17. The variable is x, and you assign the value of 17 to this variable. This is an assignment statement. Once you assign a value to a variable, you can use the variable to do something else. For example, x times 2. Once you run this code, you get the result 34. Variables can contain any valid data type, including strings, numbers, Boolean values, lists, arrays, and others. For example, here's how you could use a string variable. My text equals hello world. Variable names can be just about anything, but they typically cannot start with a number since the first part of the variable would be confused with a number. Now you can do something with this string. For example, the following code. Print my text. This will print the value of the variable my text to the screen. So, hello world. Programming languages use keywords. A keyword is a term that has a specific meaning within that programming language. For example, the command print in the previous example is a keyword. As you might have guessed, this keyword prints whatever comes after it to the screen. Another example of a keyword would be import, used to import something so that it can be used in the program. Keywords are reserved, meaning that you cannot use them for anything else. For example, you cannot create a variable called import, since this would get very confusing. You can think of a computer program as a series of statements that are executed line by line. By default, lines are executed in a simple sequence from the first line to the last